it appears that former President Donald Trump might be panicking a little bit. He has recently filed a new lawsuit. In it, Trump has asked a federal judge to appoint a special watchdog in order to review documents seized from his Florida home as part of a criminal investigation of the removal of White House records after leaving in January of 2021. Trump's lawsuit, which suggests the August 8th FBI raid was politically motivated, also asked the Department of Justice be blocked from further review of seized materials from his Mar-a-Lago residence until the so-called special master is appointed to review the documents. Special master. Let me just stop for a second and say, that's an interesting title. What's a special master? It sounds, I don't know, sounds a little kinky. I mean, I'm, again, not going to kink shame on that. If you got a special master, totally good for you. Totally fine. Again, I have no problems with that.
Sexual anarchy.
Anyway, serious. Let's get to a serious point here. So now, what is a special master in reality? Well, it appears that special masters are appointed in criminal cases where there is a concern that some material seized by authorities should not be viewed by investigators because it is protected by attorney-client privilege or other factors that weigh against it being used in prosecution. Okay. So now it makes me wonder what inside of those 300 classified documents could be protected by attorney-client privilege. I don't know. Look, possibly stuff maybe concerning the Mueller probe. I mean, again, there's probably stuff that's attorney-client privilege that would be inside of that. I don't know, again, if it would be included in this cache of documents or if they would be, classified. I don't know. It's a good question. Now, there's more. Trump's suit in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida also accuses the government of violating his Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizure. Now, again, hold on. There was an informant, a warrant signed by a judge who believed there's probable cause. And look, here's the thing. I'm very critical of raids because I think in normal circumstances, take a look at the no-knock raid for Breonna Taylor, by the way. So that was basically rubber stamped by a judge. And you see this a lot when it comes to people who have absolutely no power. Police will come in and say, oh, I think I might have smelled marijuana by passing by this person's door or whatever. Let me do a raid. And the judge's like, okay, here you go, raid away. Or, oh, do it, no knock raid, you need anything you want. Now, this is way, way different. Because now we're not dealing with people who have no power. We're dealing with a former president of the United States. And so if you're gonna do a search on their property, you better have a goddamn good reason. Or else it's going to massively explode in your face. And I think the last thing that the Justice Department wants to do is to make a mistake like this and have it blow up in their face. And if that was the case, then Republicans would be totally justified in saying, oh, see, once again, political witch hunt. See, true. But I don't think that's the case. Again, you have to have probable cause. And I don't think, look, I get on Democrats for being weak all the time. Okay. So now if you're going to do something like this, it's a terrible idea. Don't do something like this. Again, it would give Republicans, the right wing, all the ammunition in the world to come after you. And so what Democrats are doing in this case, and what the Justice Department is doing under a Democratic administration, is making sure that they have every single piece of evidence. And so going back to the point about, okay, Democrats are usually weak, right? Well, in this case, they had enough evidence, they had enough probable cause to get in there and to go and find those documents. So that's important, an important point to note. Now, that said, there's more. In addition to seeking a special master, the suit also asks DOJ be required to provide Trump with a more detailed inventory of property seized at the Palm Beach resort. Wait, so, okay. That means that they're asking for not only a special master, but then a special master to go through and then to compile a more detailed piece of inventory that was taken, which again, all of this is going to take a lot of time. So I think we know what this is about. Now, it also requests the government return any seized item that was not within the scope of the search warrant authorizing the raid. Now, let's get to Trump's statement, okay? The complaint says that the Mar-a-Lago break-in, search, and seizure was illegal and unconstitutional. Trump said in a written statement released after the complaint, and we are taking all actions necessary to get the documents back, which we would have given to them without the necessity of the despicable raid of my home. Oh, wait. So hold on. We're going to try to get the documents back that if you had just asked for, we would have given you, even though we actually did, they actually did ask us and we just didn't do so and then lied about it. Look, this is pretzel. Like my brain is turning into a pretzel reading all these different contradictory statements. Again, they were asked months prior to this. Hey, we think you have classified material. Please give them back. Now, again, if you and I had classified materials, do you think that they would politely ask me for months to return it? No, I would have been raided yesterday. Now, the rest of the statement, of course, is whiny and completely unbelievable. In fact, Trump's lawsuit called the raid a shockingly aggressive move by about 24 FBI agents. Shockingly aggressive, where nothing was broken and they were led in by Secret Service, which was done with no understanding of the distress that it was caused most Americans. Oh, the distress. Law enforcement is a shield that protects Americans, he says. It cannot be used as a weapon for political purposes. Therefore, we seek judicial assistance in the aftermath of an unprecedented and unnecessary raid on President Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago. The suit also says that Trump is a clear frontrunner in both the 2024 Republican presidential primary and general election. Should he decide to run, why hasn't he run already then? Why hasn't he declared? It doesn't make sense. Politics cannot be allowed to impact the administration of justice, the suit says. Now, in May, according to the complaint, Trump had voluntarily accepted a grand jury subpoena for his office record keeper seeking documents with classified markings. Trump decided to conduct a search for responsive records and then invited the FBI to come to Mar-a-Lago to retrieve them, according to the complaint. Here's where it gets really funny. On June 3rd, top DOJ counterintelligence official Jay Brett came to Mar-a-Lago with 3 other agents, and Trump greeted them in the dining room, the suit says. Trump then left the agents with Trump's record keeper and counsel, adding, "Whatever you need, just let us know. Just let us know." Once back in the dining room, one of the FBI agents said, "Thank you. You did not need to show us the dining room or the storage room, but we appreciate it. Now it all makes sense." Wait, that is a conversation that I can pretty much guarantee never happened. There's no way that conversation took place. No, in fact, the Wall Street Journal, I know, left-wing rag Wall Street Journal, reports that when the FBI searched the resort earlier this month, they had found national security documents outside of the designated area that Trump said that he had secured. Specifically, writes the Journal, agents found highly sensitive and classified documents lying in unsecure places outside of the storage room. This is after federal law enforcement officers had asked him to secure the storage room, and he had responded by putting a single padlock on the door. Oh, but then they put a second padlock on it, right? Well, apparently, though, didn't work because, oh, look, I'm just going to leave these highly sensitive documents out in the open. Gee, I hope some random employee or guest or maybe spy doesn't accidentally find their way in here and take photos of these documents. Boy, golly gee, that would be real bad. Real bad. Well, look, to be fair, I think at least one person thought it would be bad. The journal reports that federal law enforcement officials were tipped off by at least one person familiar with the location of the documents at the complex, and that this tip alarmed them to the point where they felt they needed to execute a search warrant at the former president's residence. They said at least one person. Does that mean that there's what, a team? More than one person? Oh, that's interesting. So instead of one informant, there could be 3 informants or 2 informants. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, here's a final piece that I'm going to say. This is a time, a desperate attempt to waste time. It is. I don't know why. He could try again and declare his intention to run. Okay, but would that do anything to stop the investigation? I don't know. I don't think it would. So then what's the game plan here? What is the defense here? I don't think there seems to be a good defense for taking these documents that don't belong to him. It could be as simple as him trying to buy time to find a good legal team. I know he's been having some issues trying to find good qualified lawyers to defend him. So maybe that's part of it. I don't necessarily know. But from what I can see from his actions, seems to be getting a little nervous.